the universe was silent for centuries, until it whispered her name.
The universe had been silent for centuries. No signals, no alien ships, no proof humanity was ever meant to survive beyond Earth. Then one night, a girl heard someone whisper her name from the stars, and everything changed. Rain hammered against the glass walls of orbital station Arendor 9. Far below, Earth glowed like a wounded blue eye in the darkness. Inside the communications chamber, Lyra Vale sat alone. 26 years old, signal analyst. No family, no real friends. Just endless nights listening to dead frequencies from deep space. Most transmissions were nothing. Broken satellite echoes, radiation bursts, static storms from dying stars. But loneliness had become normal to Lyra. Silence understood her better than people did. She leaned back in her chair, rubbing tired eyes. Another 12-hour shift, another night pretending the universe still mattered. Then every monitor in the room suddenly flickered. A low vibration rolled through the station. The speakers hissed. Static exploded across every channel. Lyra froze. That wasn't normal. The system AI spoke calmly. Unknown transmission detected. Her heartbeat slowed. Unknown. That word hadn't appeared in over 30 years. She immediately opened the signal map. The transmission wasn't coming from nearby space. It was coming from beyond charted human territory, far beyond, somewhere near the dead region called the Hollow Expanse, a place where entire exploration fleets vanished. Lyra adjusted the frequencies. Static screamed through the room. Then, she heard it, a voice, soft, broken, whispering, "Lyra." Her blood turned cold. She looked around the empty chamber. Nobody, only rain, only machines. Then the voice came again, "Lyra Vale." The monitors exploded with alien symbols, shapes twisted across the screens like living light. No known language, no known mathematics, yet somehow she understood it, not with her mind, with emotion, fear, pain, loneliness, a cry for help. Tears slowly formed in Lyra's eyes, because for the first time in her life, the universe sounded lonely too. Within hours, military command sealed the station. Armed security flooded the corridors. The transmission became classified immediately. Nobody outside high command was allowed to know. Lyra sat inside a cold briefing room beneath white lights. Across from her sat Admiral Saren Holt, the most feared military leader in Earth's orbital defense network, gray-haired, sharp eyes, emotionless voice. "What exactly did you hear?" he asked. Lyra hesitated. "If I tell you, you won't believe me." "Try." She swallowed carefully. It knew my name. Silence. The Admiral stared at her without blinking. "That's impossible." "I know." Could someone have manipulated the signal? No human system can generate those symbols. The Admiral activated a hologram. The alien patterns floated above the table. Even now, looking at them made Lyra's chest tighten emotionally, like memories she never lived. 3 hours ago, the Admiral said quietly, a deep space probe disappeared near the transmission source. Another hologram appeared, destroyed debris floating in darkness. But before contact was lost, he continued, the crew reported seeing something. The image distorted, then froze. A massive shape appeared beside the probe. Gigantic. Organic. Not mechanical. Like a living creature wrapped around space itself. Lyra whispered, "What is that?" The Admiral's face darkened. "We were hoping you could tell us." 2 days later, Lyra stood inside Hangar 7. Before her rested the exploration ship Lyra Vale. A sleek black vessel built for deep space travel. Its engines glowed softly beneath the metallic fog. Admiral Holt approached. "You're going with the expedition?" Lyra stared at him. "I'm not military. You're the only human the signal responded to. I don't even know what it wants." "That's exactly why we need you." Behind him, armed soldiers loaded weapons crates into the ship. Not exploration equipment, war supplies. Lyra noticed immediately. You're expecting a fight. The Admiral looked away. We prepare for every possibility. But Lyra already understood. Humanity wasn't going to answer the signal peacefully. They were going armed, afraid. Like humans always did. The Aurora Vale entered hyperspace 12 hours later. Stars stretched into rivers of white light. Inside the observation deck, Lyra watched the universe blur around her. That was when she met Commander Cale Reese. Tall, quiet, scar running across one eye. A soldier shaped by war. He leaned against the doorway. You're the famous signal girl. Lyra smirked faintly. That's what they're calling me? Some call you lucky. And the others? Cale folded his arms. Most think you brought something dangerous back with you. Typical. Humanity always feared what it didn't understand. Lyra looked back toward hyperspace. Do you? Cale was silent for a moment. Then he answered honestly. I think you look lonely. That surprised her, because nobody had ever noticed before. Days passed. The deeper they traveled into the hollow expanse, the stranger space became. Stars disappeared, sensors failed. Time itself seemed unstable. Crew members reported hearing whispers in empty corridors. Some saw shadows moving behind sealed doors. One engineer claimed he saw someone standing outside the ship, without a suit. Watching him, smiling. Fear spread quickly. But Lyra felt something different. Not fear. Sadness. Like the closer they traveled toward the signal, the more pain she could feel. Then one night, the transmission returned. Every light aboard the Aurora Vale shut down instantly. Darkness consumed the ship. The crew panicked. Emergency alarms screamed. Then a blue glow slowly appeared outside the observation windows. Everyone froze. Something enormous drifted beside the ship. An alien structure. No, not a structure. A creature, beautiful beyond comprehension. Its body stretched across miles of space like living crystal. Wings of light unfolded silently through the darkness. The crew stared in terrified silence. Then the being turned toward the ship, toward Lyra, and spoke directly into her mind. Finally, Lyra collapsed to her knees. Visions exploded inside her head. Burning worlds, dead civilizations, stars dying, millions of voices crying out together. Then she saw them, the alien race. Tall beings made of luminous energy beneath translucent skin. Peaceful, ancient, beautiful, and hunted. A final image appeared, a black storm swallowing entire galaxies. Then the vision ended. Lights returned. The crew shouted in confusion, but Lyra only whispered one word. They're dying. The being guided the Aurora Vale toward a hidden world, a planet concealed inside a nebula of silver clouds. No human maps showed its existence. As the ship descended through glowing storms, the crew saw massive alien cities beneath them, towering structures made from light and crystal, floating oceans suspended in the air. Gigantic rings orbiting the atmosphere like artificial moons. It looked impossible, like a civilization thousands of years beyond humanity. The ship landed carefully near a silent temple. No weapons fired. No attack came. Only silence. Lyra stepped onto the alien world first. The air shimmered around her skin. Warm. Alive. Then she saw him, standing at the top of the temple stairs, an alien male. Tall and graceful, silver eyes glowing softly, dark markings across translucent skin, not frightening, beautiful in a haunting way. The crew immediately aimed weapons, but the alien ignored everyone except Lyra. He stepped forward slowly. You heard us, he said. His voice wasn't spoken aloud. It echoed emotionally inside her mind. Lyra stared at him breathlessly. Who are you? My name is Arian. He looked toward the dying sky above them. And my people are running out of time. Over the next few days, Arian revealed the truth. His species was called the Illyrians, an ancient civilization that once traveled between galaxies peacefully. They did not conquer worlds. They healed them. Their technology merged with biology and emotion itself. They believed consciousness connected all life in the universe. But thousands of years earlier, they encountered something horrifying. A species known only as the Voidborn. Creatures that consumed neural energy, memories, emotions. Entire civilizations reduced to empty shells. The black storm from Lyra's vision. The Voidborn had hunted the Illyrians across galaxies until only one hidden world remained. Earth had never encountered intelligent life because the Illyrians hid humanity from them, protected them, watched over them silently for centuries. Lyra struggled to process it all. You protected us? Arian nodded slowly. Humanity carries emotional frequencies unlike any species we have ever known. What does that mean? It means humans feel hope, even in darkness. His glowing eyes met hers. To us, that is extraordinary. Something inside Lyra cracked emotionally. Nobody had ever spoken about humanity that way before. Not as violent, not as flawed, but beautiful. As days passed, Lyra and Arian grew closer. He showed her memories through touch, ancient alien oceans glowing beneath twin suns, children made of living light, music that shaped reality itself. But he also showed her pain, worlds destroyed, families erased. The loneliness of surviving too long. One evening, they stood beneath floating stars outside the temple. You feel isolated from your own people, Arian said gently. Lyra looked away. You can sense emotions, right? Yes. Then you already know. Arian stepped closer. You hide pain beneath silence. Her eyes watered instantly. Because he was right. Completely right. She spent her whole life feeling invisible, forgotten, disconnected from humanity itself. Yet somehow, this alien understood her better than anyone ever had. You're not alone anymore, Arian whispered, and for the first time in years, Lyra believed it. But peace never lasts long in the universe. Back aboard the Aurora Vale, Admiral Holt secretly contacted Earth Command. He didn't trust the Illyrians. Humanity feared advanced civilizations, especially powerful ones. Military scans revealed the Illyrians possessed energy technology capable of destroying planets. To Holt, that made them a threat. Earth Command gave the order, acquire alien technology. By force if necessary, Kale discovered the plan first. He confronted Holt inside the command deck. This isn't why we came here. Holt's expression hardened. We cannot allow humanity to remain weak. They saved us. Or manipulated us. Kyle slammed his fist onto the console. These people are dying, and desperate species are dangerous. Meanwhile, far above the planet, something moved within the darkness. The Voidborn had found them. The attack began without warning. The sky split open, massive black fractures spread across space itself. Then the Voidborn emerged, nightmarish creatures made of shadow and fractured bone-like armor, thousands of them. Their screams echoed directly into human minds. Crew members collapsed instantly. The Illyrians activated planetary defenses. Giant rings around the planet ignited with blue light. Energy storms exploded across orbit. Space itself became war. Kyle led soldiers to evacuation points while civilians fled. Lyra searched desperately for Arian through the chaos. Buildings collapsed around her. Alien ships burned overhead. The world was dying. Then she found him standing alone before the central temple. His people surrounded him, weak, fading. The Voidborn feed on consciousness, Arian said quietly. If they reach Earth, humanity will not survive. Lyra grabbed his arm. Then we fight. Arian looked at her sadly. You still do not understand. Above them, the black storm expanded. Entire stars vanished inside it. Then Arian finally revealed the truth. The signal was never a cry for help. Lyra froze. What? It was a warning. Her heartbeat stopped. We called you here because the Voidborn are hunting someone. Fear crawled through her chest. Who? Arian looked directly into her eyes. You. Everything suddenly made sense. The voices, the connection, the visions. Lyra stepped backward in disbelief. Why me? Arian hesitated painfully. Because you are not entirely human. The world seemed to collapse around her. No. Centuries ago, an Illyrian vessel crashed on Earth. Images flowed into her mind. An ancient ship buried beneath ice. An Illyrian survivor. A human woman. A child born between two species. Generations passed. The bloodline hidden. Until Lyra. You carry Illyrian neural resonance, Arian whispered. That is why you heard the signal. Tears filled her eyes. My whole life, I felt different. Because part of you belongs to the stars. Then another horrifying realization struck her. The Voidborn. They can sense your existence. Why? Arian's voice became quiet. Because your mind can activate the astral gate. Astral gate? The final Illyrian weapon. Deep beneath the planet rested an ancient structure capable of collapsing entire regions of space. A weapon created long ago to stop the Voidborn permanently, but activating it required a hybrid consciousness, human and Illyrian. Lyra. She stared at him in horror. You brought me here to use me. Pain flashed across Arian's face. At first, yes. Her heart shattered. Everything between them suddenly felt uncertain. The connection, the kindness, the trust. Was it all manipulation? But before she could speak, the temple exploded. Voidborn creatures crashed through the walls in waves of darkness. The final battle had begun. Kyle fought beside the Illyrians through burning streets, humans and aliens standing together against extinction itself. For the first time in history, they weren't enemies. They were survivors. Kyle reached Lyra near the collapsing temple. We need to leave now. But Lyra looked toward the underground chamber below them, the astral gate. She knew the truth already. If the Voidborn escaped this world, Earth would fall next. Billions would die. Arian stepped beside her quietly. There may still be another way. But both of them knew he was lying. There wasn't. Lyra looked at Kale. Fear trembled in her voice. If I activate the gate, what happens? Silence answered first. Then Arian whispered the truth. You won't survive. Kale immediately shook his head. No, absolutely not. The gate consumes consciousness energy, Arian continued softly. It would destroy both your human and Illyrian neural structure. Lyra felt strangely calm. All her life she felt disconnected from humanity. Now the universe finally needed her. For something meaningful, Kale grabbed her shoulders desperately. There has to be another solution. But explosions shook the city. The Voidborn were breaking through. Screams echoed everywhere. Time was gone. Lyra slowly looked toward Arian. Did you ever truly care about me? The alien stared at her with glowing eyes full of pain, more than my own life. And she believed him. That was the worst part. She believed every word. Deep beneath the planet, the astral gate awakened. Massive rings rotated around an ocean of white energy. Ancient alien symbols lit the darkness. The structure felt alive. Waiting. Lyra stepped toward the center platform slowly. Arian followed beside her. You once asked why humans fascinated us, he whispered. Lyra smiled sadly. You said we carried hope. Yes. He touched her hand gently. But now I understand something else. What? Humans choose sacrifice, even when afraid. Tears rolled down Lyra's face. Above them, the planet shook violently. The Voidborn were almost there. Kale's voice screamed through the comms. Lyra, please. She closed her eyes, then stepped into the light. The gate activated instantly. Energy surged through her body. Memories exploded across her mind. Human memories, Illyrian memories, entire lifetimes colliding together. The universe opened before her like an endless ocean. She could feel every living mind, every fear, every dream, every lonely soul across the stars, and deep within the darkness. She felt the void-born. Hungry, ancient, terrified. Because for the first time in eternity, something could destroy them. The creatures screamed across space. The black storm rushed toward the planet. Arian reached toward Lyra desperately, but she was already becoming light. "You gave me a place to belong," she whispered. Then she smiled through tears. "Goodbye." The astral gate erupted. A wave of pure white consciousness exploded across the galaxy. Stars vanished inside the light. The Voidborn screamed as their forms disintegrated completely, one by one, until only silence remained. Then the light disappeared. 3 months later, Earth. The war was over. Humanity officially revealed the existence of alien life to the world. The surviving Illyrians helped rebuild damaged colonies. For the first time in history, humans and aliens worked together peacefully. But Arian never returned home. Every night he stood alone aboard an orbital platform above Earth, watching the stars silently, waiting. Because despite everything, he still felt her. Somewhere. Far away. One evening, Kale approached him quietly. "You still think she survived?" Arian looked toward the endless universe. "I know she did." Kale sighed softly. "Hope?" Arian smiled faintly. "No." Then he pointed toward deep space. A signal appeared on the station monitors. Weak. Impossible. But unmistakable. A human voice. Softly whispering through the stars. "Arian." Kale stared in shock. The signal was coming from beyond mapped space. Beyond every known galaxy. Somewhere impossible. Then the transmission ended. But one final image appeared briefly on the screen. Lyra, standing beneath unfamiliar stars, alive, and behind her, thousands of enormous shadow-like structures slowly awakening in darkness, her expression filled with terror. Then the screen went black. Arian's face slowly changed. Not relief. Fear, because the Voidborn were never the real enemy. They were running from something else, something far older. And now, it had found her. The universe became silent once again, but this time, the silence was waiting.